What's up, Web Crew?
Welcome back to our channel, guys.
We now have the new edition. That's why Itzel's looking down.
Let's go this way. Oh, there she is.
So, the video that you guys are about to see was our experience of actually going to the hospital before Itzel had this beautiful baby.
Yeah, it was pretty unexpected. We'll give you a little bit of a brief background of our night. So she was due Saturday, the 21st of September, and we were home all of Saturday and Sunday.
Watching Netflix and Hulu.
Trying to just relax as much as we can. And we were pretty upset that she didn't come on her due date, and my induction date was for Tuesday, the 24th. And so by Sunday evening, we were both like, okay, we need to get out of the house.
We had been doing the exact same thing, watching Hulu and Netflix from like 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, because I mean, I was exhausted, too exhausted to do anything, and I mean, about to pop, so we didn't really want to go out and do anything, but we were going crazy. So we thought we'd call Brenton and Ashton, who are Brenton's older brother and his wife. Oh. So Sunday evening, we decided to go over to Brenton and Ashton's, that's Brenton's older brother and his wife. They were having a game night, so we thought we'd go over. We probably got there like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
And I'm super strict about staying out late, especially when the week's about to start. So typically I put on a timer and I'll say to Itzel, hey, we're staying here for an hour. Once my timer goes off, we gotta leave within 5 minutes. And they're always like, dang, stay a little bit longer. So we ended up staying super late this time.
Yeah, and so this time it was most likely because we were just kind of like, oh, what the heck, baby's not coming. She might come tomorrow. Brenton's like, I already have the week off. Like, we should be fine. So we stay at their place till about 1:45.
Not the smartest decision on our part.
We get home at 2 o'clock in the morning. By the time we get in bed, it's 2:05. I remember because my sister-in-law sent me a text and I got it at 2:05 when my phone turned on.
And we were dead, like completely dead. And we had done nothing all day.
Yeah, so we obviously go straight to bed. I get up at like 3:40 to go to the bathroom. I had to pee. And then I get back in bed. You know, it takes me a little while to like fall back asleep.
Get situated with the 40-week pregnant
belly. And so I feel a warm gush, like a tiny bit. And I was like, okay, what is this? Well, like I kind of knew what your water breaking not felt like, but I've read a lot about it. So I was like, I think this could be it. But it was a tiny bit. So I just waited. And then within like a minute or two more, I felt more. And at this point, like, you could tell, like, my underwear was wet, right? And so at this point, I look over and I, like, wake Brenton up and I'm like, Brenton, my water broke. And he's like, are you serious? And he gets up really fast and he helps me up. And in that moment, I'm, like, slowly starting to trickle. So I make it to the bathroom and then gush of amniotic fluid falls into the toilet. TMI, but that's how it was.
And I'm just grabbing stuff. He tells like, grab the hospital bag, the diaper bag, and we should be good to go. I'm just gonna run to the restroom.
And
Itzel called her dad at 3:45 in the morning, and he lives in California, and let him know, hey, book the flight like it's happening today. So he hopped on the earliest flight, which I think was at 6:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then we called Itzel's mom. She didn't answer the first 2 phone calls, but then called Itzel back.
So she didn't answer. I texted her, and I guess it was Sunday, so she had forgot to put her phone on loud. It had been on silent from that day. And so she said that for some reason she like turned around in bed. So like she woke up for a brief second and had the feeling to look at her phone, and that's when she saw my missed calls and everything. She's like craziest, like probably like mom instinct. So she got ready and then she met us at the hospital about like an hour and a half later probably. But we get to the hospital around 4:15, 4:20, and then my contractions started to get like, that's the first time I felt contractions, and I had back contractions, so back labor. I was filling out paperwork, and I think they were coming on pretty fast. It was kind of weird because I hadn't felt any contractions at all, and then all of a sudden they all started coming. Then they checked me to make sure it was amniotic fluid. It was. They checked to see how dilated I was. It was dilated to a 2. Then they checked me in. They gave us our room. And then I think you guys get to see pretty much the rest of that
in this video. So right before we start that, I'll let you see this cute little girl over here. We are on our way to go to the hospital. It's currently 4 a.m. on Monday, September 23rd. And Itzel's just using the restroom right quick, and we're headed to the hospital, baby.
6 and I was 179 on Friday.
Family history hurts.
Okay, come in. Hi, I'm Dr. Winder. I'll be doing your epidural.
Awesome.
What's your name?
Itzel.
Itzel. Good to meet you. How are you doing?
Hi there.
How are you? All family?
Mother and husband.
Mother, husband, and
The mom.
mom.
Her mom. Yeah, this is
Grandma.
Itzel's mom. I know. I said she looks way too young to have
You
kids
do look
have
way too
babies.
young to be a grandma. That's awesome. I just became a grandpa about 6 months ago, so I can relate.
Yeah.
People say I don't look like a grandpa either, but I think I do.
You don't actually. No, you'll be sitting.
No, sitting up. He is called hypotension. That means your blood pressure can drop right after you have an epidural. If that happens, you'll feel lightheaded and like you're going to faint. Let us know if that happens. It's very easy to fix.
Okay.
We just give you fluids and we give you some ephedrine. It can affect the baby. That's why we want you to tell us immediately if you feel that
So
way.
I feel it right away.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it can happen 15, 20 minutes after the epidural too. Usually it's pretty much right away. Secondly, if the needle goes too far, which is pretty rare, you can get a dural puncture, which can cause a really bad headache about 24 hours later. We can fix that with a blood patch. It's called an epidural blood patch. You may have heard of them. About 1 in 300 people get those. So. The other things I'm going to mention are extremely rare, okay? Nerve damage, infection, bleeding into the spine, those are all possibilities, but very rare, okay? And you don't have any bleeding problems, right, that you know about, hemophilia or anything like that, so we don't expect that. All right, with that said, there is a consent I need you to sign.
Oh, you know what? She hasn't given me a consent.
Oh, okay, I can just take your verbal consent. Do I have your verbal consent to do this epidural and you understand the risks?
Yes.
Okay, all right, we'll go ahead with that. And then we will have you go ahead and sign that later, okay? And are you in any pain right now? Are you having any contractions?
I am. They're on and off, but
Okay.
they're pretty frequent, I would say.
Yeah, every few minutes, every 2
Okay.
3 minutes or so.
So you may or may not have contractions during the procedure. If you do, we can just work right through those, okay?
Okay.
She's had 2 full bags,
Okay, oh, perfect.
so she should be really
I love
well
it.
hydrated.
Love it. Yeah, that last girl I did, she was just walked in, so she wasn't well hydrated.
Yeah, she should be
I
well
had to
hydrated.
kind of go light on her dosing at first. Okay, you're gonna feel some cold betadine in your back here, just real cold. We're gonna do that 3 times.
Just in case you want to sit, so no one faints today.
Yeah, we've seen people faint. It's rare, but we've seen it. It's less of a distance to fall if you're on a chair. Okay.
What's the TOC on your thing? Is that how?
Drink on your
Toco.
back.
That is this, it's monitoring her contractions.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's watching that.
And dry off your back with a sterile towel.
What's going this on, Mama? Because when they sit up like this, typically we have Mama's heart rate on. Let's see. I'm gonna use your IV on your other side. You just gonna reach through. Okay, and just borrow your finger. We'll watch your pulse at one point during this whole process.
I'm just drawing medications up, so give me just another minute and we'll be ready.
If I do get a contraction, just keep this position.
Yep,
and breathe
just
in.
keep breathing through it. We'll work right through your contraction. And breathing motions, rhythmic motions are fine. If you have to cough or sneeze or have a sudden movement, just warn me, okay?
Okay.
All right, just about ready to get going here. This first little part's going to be a little stinger, okay? Now I'm just going to touch your back now with my finger here. Kind of feel that space again.
This is the worst part.
Yeah. On the count of 3, you're going to feel a poke and a sting. Try not to jump.
Big burn.
1, 2, 3. A deeper sting. Doing great. That's the worst part. You got through it really nicely. Didn't even move. This next part, you're just going to feel pressure, lots of pressure. And now we're just going to find that epidural space, and you're just going to feel pressure from here on out. Doing great. You'll feel my hand steadied against your back. That's to prevent any needle going too far, because if you do happen to move, that'll prevent that from going too far. But you've been so nice and still, I don't think you're going to jump at all. You're just about there. That was so good. Some pressure here. Okay, we have to redirect our needle just a little bit. That's fine. Sometimes we have to go different trajectories until we get to where we need to go. Is that sharp?
Yeah.
Is that okay? I'm going to back off a little bit and try a different angle. Could you also arch your back out a little bit more if you could? Just slouch. There you go. That'll help us a lot, I believe. Lots of pressure.
I'm feeling a little lightheaded.
Why don't you sit down?
Okay, I'm good, babe. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're good.
Go ahead and just sit on the floor. It's normal to feel that way, okay?
Totally.
We see it a lot. How do you feel now?
I'm good.
We're just about there.
I do kind of feel like I need to look like.
Just about there.
Just pressure down below normal.
Yeah, you're going to feel lots of pressure here because we're going right through a ligament called the ligamentum flavum. Once we get through that, we'll be in the
Yeah, I'm
epidural
good.
space.
I know I couldn't get up and I figured with my hands like all over your G-spots.
No, you're good.
Feeling great.
Yeah, we're just about done. I just have to go real slow this time. Okay, we're there. A little further. Try to thread this catheter in now. As I thread this in, sometimes you feel a little zinger in your leg, so that's normal to feel that. Okay.
On my right side.
Yeah, you sometimes feel what's called a paresthesia. Yeah, that's like she said, a funny bone sensation. Just about done. I'm just taking the needle out now. We're 99% done. How you doing, Dad?
Doing great.
Good. Okay, we're done. You can relax now. You don't need to slouch anymore.
Yeah, you can sit up.
Any movement's fine now.
You did it!
Good job.
Yay! You did
It's
it!
hard to see you in pain.
Sorry, I wasn't that much in pain, but I just.
It's just a lot of pressure, right? Yeah, lots of pressure.
Every time I felt your hand squeeze, I'm like, dang it, she's in pain.
Like, what do I do? What do I do? This is hard for you. Sorry, I mean.
No, you're fine.
It's hard for you guys. That's the one thing my husband said. It's like, I wanted to make it better for you, but I couldn't. Dr. Winder is probably one of the few husbands out there who can make it better for their wives. Right?
We've had 9, so we know what it's like to. I know what it's like to be the husband, but
Yeah.
I guess fortunately I've never fainted, but I always, before I went to medical school, I got just like you, sick when I saw needles or anything like that.
Well, I'm asthmatic. I'm used to the needle. It's just seeing my wife in pain that I'm like,
Right,
oh.
right. Oh, you're a medic.
Contractions, that's
You
normal,
will,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
You
you'll
will
feel
from-
contractions for the next 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Now, do you have pregnancy-induced hypertension at all? Do you know?
No, it
No.
didn't say anything.
Okay. All right. So I'm just looking at your blood pressure. It's a little high, but that's fine. We have a little leeway to work that way. Because, like I said, epidurals can drop your pressure. So if you start to feel lightheaded, let me know. Okay. I just gave a test dose. I forgot to tell you I was giving you a test dose.
That's okay.
But that test dose,
Wait,
if you
had a great heart rate. So.
Yeah, if you feel your heart racing or if you taste anything metal in your mouth. Sorry, I got to take this drape off. Sometimes it's not very comfortable taking it off. Make sure we don't pull this out when we take it off. And I'm just going to kind of dab you a little bit and get some of that betadine off. You don't have much there. This one's pretty dry. Doctor, and I had gotten into a residency, and they said, okay, for your next couple months we want you to go learn how to intubate because we want you working in the ER during your residency. So I went and learned how to intubate. So to intubate you have to take anesthesia rotation. And so during the rotation I'm like, man, this is cool stuff. You get to do a lot of procedures and you get to control what you give the patient without having to wonder if they got the medication or not, and I loved it. And I came back to my residency director and said, I think I found a different career.
That's
And
awesome.
so I applied really quickly to a couple of programs and actually got in. So kind of a last moment decision right before I was going to be a family doctor.
Where did you do your residency at?
In Kansas City,
Okay.
and I did I did my medical school in Kansas City. Then I did my residency in St. Louis.
St. Louis, okay.
So I grew up in St. Louis, so that was kind of nice to be in the hometown.
Yeah, really.
Love the Cardinals. You
Yeah?
didn't know I grew up in
I
St.
did
Louis?
not know you grew up in St.
Yeah,
Louis.
my dad taught at Barnes.
Itzel has been in the hospital now for almost 4 hours. And,
It's going super fast.
oh, well, I'm going to let her tell you how it's going.
Super fast.
How's it going, Itzel?
Great.
Talk to us here. How are you
Great.
feeling?
Happy.
What's in your hand?
A Jolly Rancher pop.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So how's your experience been at the hospital so far?
It's been great. Because I got an epidural.
What else? What is how's it been compared to what you thought it was going to be like?
It went a lot faster than I thought because I was contracting for like 2 hours, but it felt like really fast.
And what time did your water break?
3:45 a.m.
And what time did we go to bed last night?
2:05 a.m.
Wait, what? Yeah, we slept for about 2 hours and then she woke me up and said, "It's time. We're going to be parents. It's time." So, yeah,
I did
and
not expect that. I wanted my water to break so bad that I was like, it's probably not going to break.
but then it did. She was swimming in a puddle of amniotic fluid on our bed.
Oh, that's disgusting. I didn't get it on our bed.
Okay, she didn't get on our bed, but there's a couple of drips of wet amniotic fluid. And we have the best...
Right now, huh?
Oh, she's getting a contraction.
Uh-huh.
She thinks she's getting a contraction. Let's take a look. So these lines right here show us the contractions. Then it drops. Then it goes up. Then it drops, shoots up, comes down, levels out. So every time this goes up, she's getting a contraction. But we have the best of the best over here in the corner.
Should
Hey! You guys have probably seen this woman in our videos. If you guys ever need any really good Mexican food, she doesn't cook for other people except me, so I'm sorry. She only cooks for me. And I'm her only son-in-law, so.
Did you see if I had a contraction or no?
You did.
I did. I'm trying to figure out if I should press the button again. Because I'm feeling it on my left side.
That's up to you.
But it's
Yeah,
not,
listen
I don't
to
know
the
if it's
doctor.
pressure. I
Listen
think
to
it's a
Dr.
little bit of
Noraima. What is that, Dr. Noraima?
It's good to feel pressure.
Yeah, she knows, Itzel.
But I don't know if it's pressure. I think it's a little bit of pain.
Pressure is good.
She's dilated to a 3, and this baby should be here before the end of the day.